Today, we're drawing lavender in pen and ink. And this is such a beautiful flower to practice because it looks detailed and delicate, but the process is actually very simple once you understand the structure. Hello there! Welcome back! By the end of this video, you'll understand how to simplify lavender stems so you can draw your own compositions without feeling overwhelmed by all the tiny parts. So take your sketchbook, your pens, and let's draw together. I'm going to begin with two simple lines. These are going to be the base of each lavender stem. As you can see, I created an oval-like structure as a guide to indicate the overall shape of the spike. After this, I divide the stem to mark the different levels or whorls of the lavender. And now I'm starting with the first cluster from the bottom. As you can see, I'm placing tiny oval shapes around the stem. These represent the calyxes, which are the little structures that hold the flowers. I'm making them point slightly upward because lavender flowers grow along the spike and tend to lift gently toward the top. You don't need every oval to look the same. In fact, it looks more natural when they face slightly different directions. The important thing is that they follow the general oval guide we created at the beginning. And as you can see, I'm also adding a few small circles here and there because this will help me remember where I want to place the tiny flowers later. And these flowers are called corollas. Now, at the top, I'm adding the longer petal-like shapes called bracts. And they appear in some lavender varieties more clearly than others, so they are optional. Now, I'm going back to the little circles I placed earlier, and I'm turning them into tiny flowers. These are the corollas, the little flower petals that come out of the calyx. Also, depending on the variety, these flowers can look rounder, more open, or more elongated, so don't worry about making them too perfect. And this is one of those details that makes the drawing feel very charming when you look closely, even though from afar, the whole shape still reads as lavender. And if you're drawing along with me, let me know in the comments, do you prefer drawing flowers with lots of tiny details like lavender, or larger petals like roses and magnolias? I always love knowing what kind of flowers you enjoy practicing the most. And back to our sketch. Lavender is detail, but it's also very mechanical in a relaxing way. Once you understand the structure, you're really repeating the same little decision over and over. And this is one of the reasons I love drawing flowers in pen and ink. The process becomes almost meditative. And now, I'm moving to the bottom of the stem and adding the leaves. Lavender leaves are usually narrow and long, so I'm placing two lines on each side, starting from the main stem and moving outward. And now, I'm repeating the same process for the second lavender stem. As you may have noticed, I made a little adjustment from the initial planning and moved the second stem closer to the left side. For this one, I'm tilting it slightly to the left because I want the composition to feel more dynamic. If both stems are perfectly straight, the drawing can still look beautiful, but adding a soft tilt creates movement. So again, I began with the main stem line, then I placed the outer oval guide around the top portion, and I repeat the same steps, lightly marking the whorl levels, building the first cluster at the bottom, adding small calyx shapes, placing a few tiny flower guides, and slowly moving upward. The beauty of this method is that once you understand the first stem, the second one becomes much easier. You're not inventing the process again, you're just repeating it with a slightly different angle. And if you enjoy calm, detailed flower tutorials like this one, make sure to subscribe. I'm building a full library of pen and ink floral lessons so you can keep practicing different flowers, different textures, and different ways to simplify nature into line work. And actually, not only tutorials, but also watching art process videos can be genuinely helpful. But more on that later on. And now that the sketch is ready, I'm going in with my Micron 01. For the outline, I'm going to keep the line very steady and consistent. Because Lavender already has so many tiny details, I'm not worrying too much about line weight right now. I'm not trying to create a dramatic light source in the outline. I'm simply clarifying the shapes. And as you can see, I got so into the flow that I started shading right away, jumping straight into the second step. But once you're familiar with pen and ink, you can absolutely shade as you go. It becomes a much more intuitive process. But if you're just starting out, I recommend keeping things simple. First, focus on your outline, and then come back to add your shading. Following that order gives you a clearer path to follow and makes the whole process feel much less intimidating. And now that I'm back to just the outline, I want to mention something important. Not every drawing needs to be treated the same way. For flowers with large petals, like magnolias or tulips, I may think more carefully about light direction from the beginning. But with lavender, the beauty is in the repetition and texture. So here, I'm allowing myself to have fun with the process. I'm outlining each tiny calyx, each small flower, and each bracts, slowly and patiently. Try not to rush this part, because trust me, lavender rewards patience. And if some shapes look a little different from your sketch, that's completely fine. The sketch is a guide, not a contract. And going back to our conversation about watching process videos and how helpful they can actually be, when you watch a drawing being built step by step, you're not just watching the final result. You're seeing the decisions behind it. You see how the artist simplifies a complex subject, how they divide it into smaller parts, and how they solve little problems along the way. That kind of exposure can expand your visual knowledge. It gives you more techniques, more compositions, and more ways to approach your own drawings. But the key is not to copy every mark exactly. The real benefit comes when you ask, what principle can I take from this? For example, today, the principle is lavender can be simplified into a central stem, repeated whorls, tiny calyx shapes, optional flowers, and narrow leaves. Once you understand that, you can change the composition, the size, the angle, or even the style. But what about perfectionism? And this is also something I want to mention because I know that many artists struggle with this. There isn't a lot of direct research saying that watching art videos automatically reduces perfectionism, but it makes sense that process-based videos can help. When you see a drawing broken into small decisions, the process feels less mysterious. And when you see that even a detailed drawing starts with simple lines, loose shapes, corrections, and imperfect stages, it can normalize the messy part of making art. That's why I like showing the real process, not just the polished final result. Like here, for example, I'm correcting a line by scraping the ink off the paper with a cutter knife. And now, for the leaves, I'm keeping the contour clean and simple. I want them to support the lavender stem without competing with all of the detail in the flower spikes. And now that the outline is complete, the drawing is ready for texture and volume. So I switched to my Micron 005. Lavender is such a fun flower to ink because the rendering is very repetitive. So I'm placing tiny lines, mostly at the base of each calyx and around some of the edges. Think of it this way. Each little oval needs just enough shading to feel dimensional. We don't need to feel everything. We just need to suggest form. So I'm adding tiny strokes from the bottom upward because the flowers and calyxes are facing up. This creates a small shadow at the base and keeps the top lighter. I'm also adding a few darker accents where shapes overlap, because overlap naturally creates shadow. And if this way of breaking down lavender is helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps me know which tutorials are useful for you, and it helps more artists find these lessons. And back to our flower, I'm continuing the same process through the first stem. Tiny lines at the base, a few lines around the edges, a few darker areas where the calyxes overlap. For the tiny flowers, I'm adding small shadows from the bottom and toward the center. Since the flowers are facing upward, I want the density of lines to support that direction. Again, we're not trying to shade every single tiny petal perfectly. We're creating an impression of volume. And you may have noticed that in this drawing, I've been rendering a few shapes as I go. Sometimes, I outline the whole drawing first and then return for texture. But here, because lavender is so detailed, it feels natural to finish small sections one at a time. Once you become more familiar with pen and ink, you can start making those decisions more intuitively. You can create contrast in one layer, you can decide where to stop, you can let some areas stay simple. And that's a really beautiful stage in learning, when the technique starts to feel less like a set of rules and more like a language. And as we finish up this stem, I just want to take a moment and say thank you. This past week, we reached the 100,000 followers on Instagram. And that's something I honestly never imagined when I first started sharing my little flower drawings online. To every single one of you who's liked a post, left a comment, shared a drawing, or simply spent a few minutes creating art with me, thank you. You've helped build such a kind and encouraging community, and I couldn't be more grateful. And if you're here on YouTube but haven't joined me on Instagram yet, I'd love to see you there too. I share new floral drawings almost every day, along with little tips and behind-the-scenes moments from the studio. The link is in the description, and I hope I'll see you there. And back to our drawing. Notice how I'm taking a moment to finalize this stem by adding just a little more contrast. And now, for our second stem, I'm going to repeat the same rendering process. And this is where the drawing becomes very relaxing because you already know what to do. Tiny lines at the base of each calyx, a few shadows where forms overlap, a few details in the little flowers, and soft texture in the bracts. Once you understand the logic, pen and ink becomes much less scary. You're not just adding lines. You're deciding where the flower needs more density, where it needs to stay open, and where a tiny shadow can help the form read more clearly. I want to quickly mention that I have a Patreon and you can actually join for free. That's where I'll be sharing extra resources, updates, behind the scenes notes, and more support for your floral drawing practice. So if you want a little more from this community beyond YouTube, the link is in the description. And as we slowly finish this last part of our second stem, I'll go silent for a brief moment, but I'll be back just in time for what's next. And now, I'm going to ink the stems. And I'm going to make them darker than the leaves because they are thin and structural. A little extra contrast helps them support the whole composition. So I'm adding a few fine lines along the stems, but nothing too heavy. The goal is to connect everything without distracting from the lavender spikes. And now, let's move into the leaves. For the leaves, I'm creating longer, interrupted lines. I'm starting some lines from the tip and moving inward, and then I'm adding a few from the base and upward. I'm not filling the entire leaf. I want the texture to feel light and elegant, so I'm leaving breathing room. This is especially important in pen and ink because the white space is part of the drawing. It gives the leaf light, volume, and softness. I'm also adding a few lines near the center, just enough to suggest the direction and structure of the leaf. And as we move closer to the end of this tutorial, let's recap. Today, we started with 2 simple stem lines, created an outer guide for the flower spikes, built the lavender through repeated whorls, added tiny calyx shapes, little corollas, optional bracts, and long, narrow leaves. Then, we outlined everything with a Micron 01 and created texture and volume with a Micron 005, using tiny shadows, edge lines, and soft interrupted strokes. So the next time you look at a lavender, I hope it feels less overwhelming. You don't have to draw every detail perfectly. You just need to understand the structure and build it slowly, one small shape at a time. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more pen and ink floral lessons, and tell me in the comments what flower you'd like me to draw next. Thank you so much for drawing with me. Every line teaches you something, so keep drawing, and I'll see you in the next flower.